Hey guys, I'm Francesca, and my mom lies for a living. Yep, you heard me right. My mom is a professional liar, and it's quite the story. Let me first take you guys on a trip down memory lane. I was born into a very rich family. My dad is a business mogul, and my mom used to work as a computer analyst. Life was great until mom and dad started having issues in their marriage. I came home from school one evening and found mom sobbing at the table. Normally, she would never let me see her cry. But this evening, she called me to come sit with her while she wiped away her tears. "What happened, Mom?" I asked. My mom then revealed to me that my dad had filed for a divorce. My whole world stopped for a moment. What would happen to us now? I had a gut feeling that things were about to take a turn for the worse. You see, my dad was the rich one, and mom never had to use her money for anything. And with this divorce, there was so much at stake. Dad didn't really care about us. By that time, he had already moved out of the country with some mistress. Even though the divorce was a rough time for mom, she was back on her feet right after she got a new job. But that's when things got strange, like really strange. Mom changed her wardrobe and kept buying more and more stuff. Our house began to look like a reality TV destination. She worked odd hours, and it didn't matter how late or early it was. If she got a call, she was quick to respond. I had no idea what she was up to until one night when I happened to bump into her. Okay, let me tell you all about it. My mom ran a dating service where people called her to be their plus one, and they also paid her ridiculous amounts so she would keep up the charade. She was quite popular on social media, and this made her easily accessible by people who wanted her services. The idea to do this started as mere fantasy after she'd seen something similar on a TV sitcom. My mom was not your typical laid-back mom. She was pretty, with a flair for fashion, and you could call her the life and soul of every party. She recovered from her breakup with Dad quite quickly and became more radiant than ever. Her pretty stature and pretty face got her deals that you couldn't even imagine in your wildest dreams. Her first client was an NBA player. He reached out to her after her tweet on being a phony plus one blew up. "Hi, Rebecca. I have a dinner appointment and I need a plus one. Mind if I pay for your services?" he wrote in his direct message to her. Mom got really jittery, mainly because it was her first time, but she owned it like she always did. Mom was confident and chic, and her classiness was somewhat intimidating. She wore her most expensive jewelry on this date. At the time, I had no idea where she was going for the evening, but I remember how elegant she looked with all her jewelry on. Her date was so impressed with how much she fitted in with the crowd. It was like she was made for this, he said. Mom came home later that night, super excited. She had just received a check of $200,000 for looking pretty and stealing the attention of everyone. Her pictures were on the front pages of blogs and other talk shows. NBA star shows up on the red carpet event with a damsel. She kept her identity a secret and switched personalities to fit whatever roles she had to play. After her first lucky date, the demand for her services quadrupled. Mom was in and out of hotels, restaurants, schools, airports, you name it. All a person had to do was send a message describing what they wanted her to do or be, and she would enact the part. She would turn up as a pretend girlfriend or a fake lover, a personal trainer, a secretary, a personal assistant. She was perfect at acting the part. You're probably wondering where I was all this time. Well, I was having fun at school, living the dream teenage life with my mom always busy, yet still sending me funds for everything I needed. I barely missed my dad. I mean, he left us, so why would I miss him? I found out about Mom's job when she showed up at a club with the owner of the most popular Moscato wine brand in the country. She obviously didn't know I would be there. I lied to her, saying I was going to sleep over at my bestie's because of an assignment. We snuck into the club to have some girl fun, only for my mom to walk in at about 2:15 a.m. When she walked in, her hair was blonde and her figure was breathtaking. I didn't fully realize it was her until she spoke to the bartender. "Double shots, please," she said. It was definitely my mom. What was she doing here? And why was she dressed like that? I wasn't even afraid that she'd see me. I mustered up the courage and walked to her. "Hey, Mom. Hey, beautiful." She cut me off. "How can I help you?" she said. Could someone wake me up? I must be dreaming. This woman is actually pretending not to know me? I didn't snap out of my moment of daydreaming, even when she asked the bartender to get me and my friends free drinks and free slots to the VIP lounge. I figured something might be wrong, so I walked back to my table without a word. "Was that your mom?" Caroline asked. No. I thought it was, but she didn't recognize me. It's probably just my mom's doppelganger. After the incident at the club, Mom called me and told me to get my ass home. I didn't care that she sounded bossy on the phone. I had questions for her, serious questions. "You lied to me, Francesca. Why did you do that?" she asked. I shrugged and said I didn't expect to see her there. I mean, she had been all over this man, and everyone was calling her Gina. "Who is Gina, Mom? I have questions too." We sat down for hours, and Mom poured her heart out to me. I run a dating service where I get paid to play whatever role my date needs me to portray. Last month, I was in Vogue magazine with a popular NBA star. Last night, Mr. You-Know-Who needed me to make his ex-wife jealous. I do my job. I get paid. It's just business. I couldn't believe it. This had to be fiction. My mom was an actual call girl? So basically, you lie and pose as different people to make money? She giggled and said yes, if you put it that way. I hadn't even begun to process all of this when she blurted out that a certain business mogul who was Dad's partner had reached out to her to attend a conference with him as his mistress. Dad was definitely going to be there, and this was a really sticky situation to be in. The deal was going to be her biggest check yet. But at the risk of her being disgraced or embarrassed publicly for being a mistress right after a nasty divorce, I put all sentiments aside and convinced Mom to do it. It was going to hurt Dad, but it would be worth it. He deserved every ounce of shame anyone could dish out. Mom took the deal, and we spent time shopping for the nicest dresses and shoes. If she was going to make an appearance, she had to look the part. On the 10th of that month, she showed up at the conference with her date. I sat across the room, playing the part of her personal assistant. I scanned the room to check for my dad, only to see him walk in hand with another woman. I wasn't ready for a sight like that. I took deep breaths to calm myself. Mom kept texting me that it was okay, and she had it all figured out. And she did. After the conference, Dad walked up to her table to say hello. I bet he couldn't resist how beautiful Mom was. Well, on the job you don't get personal with anyone. So Mom said hello and directed him to her personal assistant in case he needed her card. Yep, she actually did that. Dad walked up to me looking baffled. "Francesca, is that you? What are you doing here? I miss you." He was acting so fake, and I didn't buy any of it. I feigned a smile and said, "Hi, Dad. It is nice to see you, too." It wasn't, but I was an accomplice liar now. In no time at all, I began managing Mom's bookings, managing her profile, and even sticking up for her when she didn't feel like going out. Mom did a perfect job when it came to her line of work. She was a natural actress, starring in her own show. She was definitely made for this. This is how my mom lies for a living. What's your own crazy story? Please like and subscribe for more.